Welcome everybody, I'm Joy Akins with Quartz Coast Realty, and I am super excited to have Monica here with Artisan Pools to tell us what makes her company unique. Would you like to start us off? Tell us a little bit about your company.
So I'm Monica Hall. My husband Murray and I have been in the industry 50 years approximately. Artisan Pool Design is our marketing branded name. That is what you'll see and who we are. We are a bespoke builder. We are super excited to be bringing to the marketplace something unique and different. We bring commercial technology to the mainstream residential market, and that involves therapeutic spas and specifically a little bit more about that later, and water quality. We offer a recycled glass media filter. We're the only builder that does that in the area, and it is an upgrade. However, if you plan to stay in your home, it is fantastic, and we can talk about that a little bit more. But we're super excited to meet you and super excited to work with Joy and her team, and I'll turn it back over to her.
Yeah. So what areas here in Southwest Florida do you guys cover?
So we cover most areas, Charlotte County, Sarasota County, Manatee County, Pinellas, Hillsborough. We do all the barrier islands, Longboat Key, Holmes Beach, Anna Maria, Venice, down into those areas. Again, barrier islands. We work with a lot of the higher end builders, and we also do design work that's just design work for customers that have other homes in other areas outside the state of Florida, and they've asked us to do designs for them because we try to really customize each pool. No pool that we build is ever the same.
Okay. All right. Well, let's dig into some of the pain points that I know a lot of you are here watching to find out kind of the inside trade secrets. So what are some of the biggest mistakes homeowners make when planning a custom pool?
I think two of the biggest things is unrealistic financial expectations. You hear a lot of things out there. A lot of it's true. Prices of design pools and construction of pools is definitely gone very high into the marketplace. It used to be, you could build something for under $100,000 and get a lot. Now it's hard. However, there are ways to do it. But with that being said, I think unrealistic financial expectations and misunderstanding of timeless. Depending on, we like to customize the pools to each client's lifestyle and what are their needs, and with that you bring that together, and when you build something timeless, you can sell it. It lasts through seasons. Of saltwater pools are basically chlorine pools as well. The salt generator actually produces chlorine on site, so it is producing chlorine and you are getting chlorine in your pool. It does feel different than adding chlorine because it's really has you control it by the percentage, where when you have a service company that comes in and pours chlorine in your pool, they're adding a lot of extra chlorine that you don't necessarily need, so it's going to change the whole entire chemistry makeup of the pool. And again, chemistry is like baking. I mentioned this earlier. It's not like cooking. It's a science, and it's very exact. So it's very difficult to service a pool once a week. I'm just going to give the service guys a hand to them and say they do as best the job they can when they only come once a week. I was going to tell you this straight. It's very difficult to control sanitation in a pool when they're only there once a week, because we have sun in Florida, we have bathers, we have a lot of rain, we have a lot of things happening here. So chlorine has a very difficult time maintaining for a whole week when you're only adding it once a week. A salt system, on the other hand, produces chlorine on site, but it's putting chlorine in the pool small amounts every day. So it's easier for that pool to maintain itself. But again, every type of sanitation, every type of, whether it's UV, RO, salt, liquid chlorine being added on site, all of them have the positive sides to them, and all of them have the negative sides. Each one of them has to be monitored, and you have to understand it. Being involved as a homeowner in the maintenance of your pool is very important. I highly recommend that you once a month take your water to a pool store, get it tested, see what's happening, see what's going on with your service guy and how he's maintaining your pool. Again, because it is a science, and it does matter because it is directly linked to your warranty on your plaster. All plaster manufacturers, if you go to online and look at their warranty, they're going to tell you in the warranty that it's based on your water chemistry. Keeping good logs, weekly logs of your water chemistry from your service provider is very important, because it's all relative to the life of your plaster. It's a very big subject. I spent 10 years of my career training water chemistry in corporate America. I'm very passionate about water chemistry. I'm very passionate about water quality. And that also goes back to the filter that we were talking about.
Approximate typical timeline from concept to completion.
The design part can take 1 to 2 weeks. It really depends on the client. Important, as we discussed earlier, getting your top 3 wishes figured out before you meet with a designer, really important. There's a lot of different water features. There's spas, there's no spas, there's pools only, there's freeform pools, there's linear pools, there's cage pools, there's uncaged pools, there's pavers, there's concrete decks. It's a lot. There's a lot of different things to consider. So it's very important that you have your top 3 picks that you like, and then discussing that with your designer. From there, the paperwork from that is contract. Paperwork for permitting and engineering has to be done. Engineering takes approximately 2 weeks if they're not behind. And then once we get it to engineering, once it goes from engineering to permitting, it can take anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks. So the whole process could take 2 months. So the thing I tried to tell my clients up front is this piece right here is really about patience. It's really just trying to sit back and just let the process happen. And the one thing we'll do for you during that timeline is we will spend time with you picking out tile and pavers and coping and plaster and color themes and things like that, going over different options, because it takes up some of the time and it makes it go by a little bit faster. But the most important thing I would say is just try to breathe, because it is a process, and there's nothing that I can do to make it go any faster.
Okay, so what is anything that people should expect when it comes to permitting and HOA restrictions? Just a brief summary.
HOA, very good topic. Before you meet with a designer, get in touch with your HOA. There's pool paperwork that has to be filled out. Get it done, have it ready, because then all we have to do is add our part. You can submit it. They usually only vote once a month. So try to find out when that is, so that we can make sure that paperwork is in on time, so that we don't miss it for the next month, because that again is another delay. Usually that can be accomplished during that 6 to 8 week period while we're getting the contract done, the engineering done, the permitting process. We can usually get that approved. We just need it before we start digging. So that's important. The only thing that I would also say is usually the HOAs are going to require you to stay within the footprint of your home. So the right and left side of your house, you can't go past that. Most HOAs will not let you go beyond that. That means your footprint for your pool is within that. Let's say if you have a 60-foot lot, you have a 40-foot house, you're going to have to stay within that 40-foot footprint and go back from there and create your space, your outdoor area for that.
Okay. Well, this next question, we're here at a pool, waterfront. What are the most common issues you see when working near waterfront or canal properties when it comes to the pools?
The biggest thing that I will say is your seawall. We will advise you to make sure your seawall is up to date, your tiebacks are in place and new or relatively new, and your seawall is in good shape and capped before you start your pool project. Never do it the other way. You're not going to win. Most of the time, older pools, older neighborhoods have older seawalls. We've done this a lot. We've had to go in and talk to the client, and we have people we work with. We can refer you to several different seawall companies, but get that done first. So think about that from a budget standpoint. Right now, seawalls, I think, are about $500 a linear foot. So they're very expensive. They're not cheap. So be aware. If your seawall needs work, address that first before you budget and meet with your designer for your pool, because that is got to come first. You can't put your horse before the cart.
That's good to know. Okay. So we briefly went over this, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it again. What kind of a budget should a homeowner realistically plan for a high-quality custom pool here in Southwest Florida?
You're really going to be looking, when you start getting into a higher quality spa, sun shelf, larger pool with a lot of custom features, cage, you're going to be looking at about $150,000 for that project. The one thing I will say is to minimize cost, consider going without a cage. The aluminum cage piece of the build is very expensive. You can put a footer in around the pool for a future cage. So that's not, so it doesn't eliminate that cage being put in later. But the initial cost, it will cut it down quite a bit. Cages are running anywhere minimum 15 up to 50,000. So you can see you can chop up a huge amount of your profit, or your budget on a cage. And that's Harley. This is our mascot. Hi, baby. You want to come see with Mommy? Okay, cool. We're going to come sit here with Mama. This is Harley. This is Miss Harley. She's an Australian Labradoodle. She's our mascot. So will see her from time to time in our videos and our blogs and all kinds of pictures and all kinds of things that we do. So anyway, hi. She's part of our family.
Okay, so from a real estate standpoint, when buyers are purchasing properties that don't have cages, there are some lending regulations on safety when it comes to the pool. So do you guys have any part of that, or is that something the homeowner just has to make sure to take care of after the fact with fencing and whatnot?
Fencing. So yes, when you don't have a cage, you still have to pass what's called safety inspection on a pool. So when we build a pool without a cage, or even with a cage, there's always alarms in the water. If you have a spa, you'll have 2 alarms. Those have to be in the pool. Those are required to pass inspection. The other thing is going to be your perimeter fencing. You will have to have fencing around, and if you don't have a cage, the gates will have to automatically shut. So those are all pieces of that. We come with the complete package. We do the pools, all of the cages, the paver decks, the additional paver decks that if you want to add more outside. We do the fencing, we do outdoor entertaining, we do landscaping, we do outdoor lighting, we do outdoor entertainment areas, we do outdoor kitchens. So when you work with us, it's a one-stop shop. We can basically cover all the bases for you, so you don't have to piece it out and go, I have to deal with 3 contractors. It's gonna be a lot more. No, you come to us, we take care of all of it.
That's amazing. Okay, so what are some ways that homeowners can get a wow factor with their design without going overboard on price? What are some things you recommend?
I think I would go back to consider not putting in a cage. That would be the first thing. And then let us show you ways to create some, maybe if you have a lot that has a slope, you can get into some terracing. It's not going to cost a lot extra. You can also get into a few, some nice water features, and we can show you how to do that and design something that's going to give you that like you said, that wow factor, that gives you, again, it won't break the bank.
So in your professional opinion, does having a custom pool significantly impact a home's resale value?
Actually, it does. Pools will definitely increase the value of a home. In Florida, everybody wants a pool.
Amen.
It's hot. So if you're not getting, you're going to be swimming probably at your neighbor's pool, or your kids will be if you don't have a pool. But the other thing is, on the resale part, is making sure again that your design is timeless. That what you're doing and what your coloring is and all that, you're not going into some kind of trendy thing. That you got to look at all of that, because those are the things that create value in the pool, so that when you do go to resell, or if you have a situation come up, you were planning on staying and something happened and you had to sell, you want to have something that is going to be easy to sell and not going to cause that one person out of that 10% will buy it, because the pool is so different. You want to have different, you want to have uniqueness, but you want to have timeless.
Okay. So what advice would you give clients to keep their pool looking newer as the years progress? Are there any tricks of the trade or recommendations?
Be involved in the maintenance of your pool. Pools, and again, maintenance involves not only the pool but the deck. It involves making sure that your service provider is cleaning the tile, make sure that, and if they don't do the deck, so make sure that if your cage, make sure your cage is clean once a year. Do a pressure wash your deck. All these things. There's maintenance. Pavers, a good note to remember. Pavers will have from time to time things growing through them. It's just part of, again, maintenance. Most pavers are sand set. Some pavers are set in concrete. It depends on the job. Again, it's all cost variance there too, okay? So there's that to consider. Sand set pavers are going to have little pieces from time to time of a little blade of grass here and there growing. It's very easy to maintain, again, but if you don't maintain it, it'll become, all of a sudden you'll come out one day and it'll be like, it looks like you've got a backyard and it's all grass. I mean, I've seen that. So just be careful that you remember that maintenance of your area, your entertaining area, is part of all normal maintenance of a home.
Okay, so how do you guys at Artisan help clients with long-term maintenance and services offered?
We actually have started working with our clients to come out once at the anniversary of your pool. We actually come out. It's in your warranty, and we will do an audit. We'll check everything for you. We haven't seen the pool in a year. You've been enjoying it, but we'll come out as a service and we will do an audit. We'll check everything. We'll check all your lighting. We'll check all your automation. We'll check your pavers, your plaster, your tile, everything, your water chemistry. I will do a water chemistry test for you, and I will give you a report basically to tell you, here's what's under warranty. I'm going to go ahead and call it in so that you're covered. Because warranties for us are 3 years, by the way. That's another piece that we offer. We offer a 3-year warranty on equipment, all of the lighting, filters, everything, heaters, everything. So that's a great option for you. So we'll call in all those warranty items. Then we will also give you a report on the things that are not covered. Pavers are covered for a year. So if there's any settling, that's covered. So we do that as a offering to help each of you know that what to expect over the next year. Some things will be covered, as I said, and there will be a few things that might not. So we're trying to make sure that you're aware of what's coming so that you can prepare for that. Again, it's part of the maintenance, but we try to offer that on that first year, and then we do offer a program after that we'll come out once a year. There's a charge for that. We can discuss that. It's based upon the size of the pool and how much equipment is involved. But we will come out once a year after that. The first year is completely free. It's part of our contract with you. And then we offer the service additionally after that to come out every year on the anniversary of your pool and just basically do an audit, make sure that everything's running properly, what's happening, what's not going right, what do we need to look at.
Okay. All right, so are there any pool design trends and materials becoming more popular right now?
Water features, people are getting a little bit away from rocks, the big rock stuff, but you still see it. Some people love that, and it's very, but it does have a time. Again, it's a time thing. It has a season. If you spend a lot of money with a lot of rock, after a certain season, it becomes a little bit dated. We do rock pools, pools with rocks, but we try to be very timeless in our designs, and we use a lot of natural stone. We use a lot of limestone. And we have some sealers that we seal it with so that it's not noticeable. It's a penetrant. Doesn't have a shine. It leaves it the natural way it looks, but it will protect it from that constant beating from the sun and water. And it has to be done. It has to be reapplied every few years. So that is part of, again, maintenance. I would say lighting is a big trend. Again, people want ambiance. They want to feel like that pool is part of their whole living environment. So lighting is a big deal. We're big on lighting. Most of our pools have 10 to 20, 15 to 20 lights in a pool. And it's a big deal on how it appears.
So what kind of experience can homeowners expect when working with your team from start to finish?
Owner involvement. I would say that you're going to see more of myself and my husband than most companies. We are personally involved. We're not a what's the word? I hate to say we're not a track builder. We're not a production builder. We build about 30 pools a year, and our goal is really to personalize the experience for you. Also, very important, we tell our clients this: do it right the first time. And we like to tell our clients this. It's kind of a funny saying that we have. Basically, it's that if you can't afford to do it right the first time, you can't afford to do it twice. Take the time to meet with your designer, understand the process, and really look at the details of what you're paying for so that you understand where your money is going. One other thing that we do with a lot of higher end clients that build $500,000 pools is we do something that's called cost plus. So what that means is that every single piece of the pool project, the client sees all the invoices, and we charge a management fee and the construction oversight fees, and we charge a percentage to be your contractor. As I say, we have to feed our dog too. But basically, it allows you to choose what you spend your money on, especially when you're spending several hundreds of thousands of dollars. For an example is, we put a lot of lights in a pool. One light costs, just the pure cost of a light is around $1,200. So if I'm putting in 10 lights, that's $12,000 plus. So if you say, oh, I didn't realize that, could we do it with 8 lights? That's going to save you $4,000. So all of this is part of that process and understanding what is actually going in to your build. And as a design build company, we want to design it and educate you on the design and what's happening and what's going into that build, and then why it's going to cost you this, because all these pieces have a cost factor involved. So all these special things have a cost involved. And we can make things beautiful from a small spool. We can bring that same technology, those inclined seats and that recycled glass media, into a cocktail pool for very cost effective, or we can build a $500,000 pool or more with the same technology. So it's not that we don't build affordable pools. It's just that we have to look at your needs, your wants, your desires, your budget, and what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And how long are you going to stay at your home? Those are all factors to really designing the best product for you for a long time of enjoyment. And being able to.
If you want a cheap pool, there's places that'll do plain Jane cheap pools, but that's not what you guys do. You guys create beautiful custom pools, and with custom and quality, I think everybody understands comes a price for quality.
Yes. Yes, I would say that. Correct.
Would you be willing to share your favorite project or transformation that you guys are especially proud of?
We did a project my husband built before this company, before we incorporated this time. Back in 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, my husband was building on his own. And then he got out of that, sold that company, and went into the commercial sector corporately. So during that period of time, I was in corporate America myself, but my husband did a remodel on a pool where literally he cut the back of the pool off. And the pool, and they took the cage down, and I actually remember this because I actually helped him take the cage down. That was it was way back in the beginning, so it was a really unique experience for me. I was like, okay, you want me to do what? Anyway, but we did. It was fun. so he literally cut the back of the pool off, and the house was here, and the pool was like this, but the pool was built up because the property was on a slope and it was a lake. So my husband said, well, let's take advantage of the slope. So he cut the back of the pool off, put a spa in with the incline seating, but he created a negative edge and used that wall, and the water went down the wall. And then he had a whole seat, terracing coming down around that stairs with a bar on the outside of the back of the pool.
Oh, I love
and then
that.
It came down to a fire pit and a built-in fire pit. And then the cage was extended and with a big panoramic, what's it called now? I just lost my wording. The panoramic cage with no lines in it. And they could see the lake, and then across was wildlife, like a preserve, and they could see the deers. And that is like my favorite all-time project. I love that pool. And unfortunately, the people don't live there anymore, and I have never been able to get professional shots of that pool. I have, if you ask me to show you the pictures of that pool, because I would love to, but they're not professional shots, so I don't want to put them on the website, because I'm like, they don't look that great.
So where can people find you if they're ready to explore building their dream pool?
ArtisanPoolDesign.com is our website. We are on social media, Facebook, Artisan Pool Design, and on Instagram. If you want to reach me, the easiest is really to call my cell phone, which is 321-217-5322. I spent most of my life and my career in Orlando. And so that number I've had for 30 years. I can't get rid of it. We do have a 941 business number. You can call that, and we will usually return your call within the same business day.
And you're on the majority of the social media platforms.
Yes. I'm my daughter Harley and I are the face of the company.
Okay. Well, in closing, is there any, I guess, final piece of advice or recommendations, whether somebody goes with you guys or a different company, the takeaway that you would like people to take from this interview?
I think the most important thing to remember is have fun. It can be a little bit of a challenge during the construction phase with weather and delays and this and that. And a lot of people can get really intense. I think the most important thing is just try to have fun. And one of the things we do is I always communicate with you once a week to give you an update. Sometimes I don't have great news, but I'll tell you, hey, call in to tell you I don't have anything to tell you. But I will talk to you once a week and give you an update on what's happening based on weather, whatever. And but just have fun, because it won't be long and you'll be in that pool, and 6 weeks down the road, and once you're swimming, you'll forgotten all of that stuff that you had to go through to get there, and it'll be worth it, I promise.
Okay, well, Monica, thank you so much for taking time to meet with me. Hopefully this is beneficial for all of our viewers here on YouTube. If you like this video and like to see more, be sure to drop a comment, hit that like button so you can see us on the next video.
Thank you.
We'll see you later.
Bye.